What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Only One KDB, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, bro, we got the most explosive superstar relationship in hip-hop history. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell so you notified on dropping another banger, bro. We finna see what's the most explosive superstar relationship. Now, I've been a lot of relationships in the industry, bro. They don't last, bro. The only relationship that lasts, bro, is Beyonce and Jay-Z. Other than that, they don't really be lasting, bro. So we finna get to the video, bro. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and let's get to it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? We finna see what's poppin'.
When you think of some of hip-hop's biggest power couples, some names that might come to mind are Beyonce and Jay-Z,
Yep.
maybe more recently Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, perhaps even
Offset
and Cardi B. But before all of them in the 90s...
Bro, is Offset and Cardi B still together? I think they is. I don't be knowing, bro. I don't be keeping in the loop and what celebrities and their relationships and what they got going on. That be y'all, bro. Y'all be all under the shade room comments. I know you be under that, don't you, bro? You ain't gotta lie, bro. I don't be under the shade room comments, bro. Bro, if you ever go into the shade room comment section, you gonna meet some of the dumbest people on this fucking earth. You're not gonna meet nobody dumber than them people. They just, I don't know what the fuck they be talking. They just be rambling and just talking for no. I don't know what they be talking about, bro. Let's continue.
There was Lil Kim and the Notorious B.I.G., who were perhaps the biggest hip-hop couple ever seen at that time.
Yeah, facts.
Biggie was and still is a legendary rapper who had a crazy flow, great storytelling, and a classic catalog, as well as commercial sales to back his stats up. Lil Kim, on the other hand, helped the female rap scene find its identity, differentiated herself, some would say broke a lot of barriers, and find fans who would make the genre bigger in the future. The two met in the early 90s, and funnily enough, hip-hop is exactly what brought Lil Kim and...
Bruh, no funny shit, but Biggie was a... bruh, how did this nigga get so many bitches, bruh? I'm trying to be... Bruh, that nigga got hella hoes, bruh. How? If he was a regular nigga, like, if he was regular and not a rapper, y'all think he would have got that many hoes still? But that nigga was getting the hoes, but he was getting... Bruh, he was getting bitches, like... fine as shit, bro. And he was one ugly ass nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know how he was getting that many hoes, bro. But let's continue.
Biggie together. At the time, Kim was about 17, turning 18, and completely unknown to a larger audience. Although she was frequently practicing her skills in impromptu rap battles in the streets of Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn. That's how Biggie and Lil Kim met.
Do or die.
Biggie just happened to see Kim during one of these performances and decided to speak with her, even asking her to rap a little for him.
I don't remember most of it, but I did have some kind of Jamaican chant in it then. I said something crazy like, I'm so hot, I'm hotter than the sun. Now where the man?
What?
I was doing a
Bro, 106 in Park is legendary, bro.
That's when he knew she would become a big hip-hop star one day. The two started off as friends, although soon after it was obvious that there was something more than just friendship between Lil Kim and Biggie. At the time, Biggie was still dating his high school sweetheart and baby mama, Jan Jackson, so his relationship with Kim wasn't quote-unquote legitimized until late 1993 when Biggie called it quits with his baby mama. Thus, the Lil Kim and Biggie saga officially started. Biggie's first power move with Kim was forming a junior mafia, a rap group consisting of Big's longtime friends, including Lil Kim herself, who was the only female member in the faction. Biggie actively started coaching Lil Kim and mentored her artistically. He taught Kim his signature cadence and flow and allegedly even helped her write some of her tracks for the debut album Hardcore. People usually give Kim less credit than she deserves for her tracks, as many people believe that Biggie completely created Lil Kim from scratch, which was debunked by people who worked with both in the mid-90s. Jacob York, who worked as a producer for Hardcore, said on multiple occasions that while Biggie trained and helped Lil Kim get her groove, he never specifically wrote raps for her records. As Jacob York once mentioned in the interview, it was more about her being taught how to rap, because Kim always understood what to write. Understanding this fact is important.
I get hit with an ad, bro. Come on, bro. We ain't doing this today, bro. I ain't having it.
You're not ready for
important to get a better idea of what Kim and Biggie's relationship was actually like. All things suggest that Kim wasn't just Biggie's supporting cast, and in her own words, Biggie became my friend, my lover, my everything. I was his biggest fan. He knew I would be the biggest female rapper. I think I inspired him to want to do different things and be different. We were a match made in heaven, like Sonny and Cher or Ashford and Simpson. Unfortunately for her,
But I know I might be thrown out the loop because I wasn't born in this old ass generation. I'm at that old ass time. But who the fuck is Ashley and Simpson? Can anybody clarify that for me in the comments? Because I know sometimes it'll be like old heads like watching my channel and shit. Can y'all clarify me who the fuck is Ashley and fucking... I forgot what the nigga even said. Ashley and somebody else. But y'all will go back and see what he said. But let's continue, bro.
Biggie couldn't stay in a monogamous relationship for long. And less than a year after the official start of his relationship with Lil' Kim, he met his future wife, Faith Evans, on the set of a photo shoot for Bad Boy Records. In multiple interviews, Biggie mentioned that he knew that Faith Evans was that woman from the get-go. After the photo shoot, they exchanged numbers, which led to a couple of outings, and only 8 days after their first meeting, Biggie proposed to Faith Evans. In his own words, "I married her after knowing her 8 days and I was happy. That was my baby." At the same time, with us being so spontaneous...
No, bro, hold on. My bad, bro. I keep pausing it, bro, but like 8 days is insane. They only knew each other for 8 days and they was getting married? Yo, that's some crazy shit, bro. Y'all think that can happen now? Like now, in today's time, that shit ain't happening, bro. Yo, 8 days, then get married yo, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard, bro. That is insane, bro.
We did it backwards. Only a month after that, the two got married, though allegedly, Biggie never stopped dating Lil' Kim, thus creating a heated and dramatic love triangle. Although things were relatively calm for the three, as, according to Faith Evans, she had no idea about Kim being Biggie's mistress for at least a year and a half into her marriage with B.I.G. Biggie and Evans even had a kid together during this period of time, and everything was looking smooth, at least on the surface level. Faith Evans even admitted to spending time with Lil' Kim, going to the gym and different malls to shop together, as Biggie was encouraging them to do so.
They was hanging with each other?
As far as saying that she actually adored Kim, and when they met for the first time, Faith Evans had no inkling of anything going on with Lil' Kim and Big. She also added that, sadly, it was far from the first situation of that kind she had with Biggie at that point. You could say he was big pimpin'.
Yeah,
regardless of what Faith thought of Kim at the time, she was absolutely furious when she found out about Biggie's affair with Lil' Kim. One day, Faith Evans took matters into her own hands and went on a quest to finally catch Big and Kim in the act. Faith Evans described the situation in full detail in her Keep the Faith memoir. "I drove to Big's house on a mission to find out where I really stood in Big's life.
Damn.
I parked in the rear of Big's townhouse and walked up to the garage. It was locked, but I did know that there was a certain way to unlock it. Then Evans tiptoed in the elevator and got to the second floor where Notorious B.I.G.'s bedroom was. Faith Evans stormed the door, and the next thing happened. I grabbed some chick out of the bed and started beating her ass.
Oh, that was in a movie. I remember
punches
that.
for a minute to get a good look at the chick I was beating up. It was Lil' Kim. Despite all the rage and confusion Faith Evans was filled with at the time, she still had pity for Lil' Kim. I have to say I actually felt some pity for Kim. Big had a wife, and she settled for messing with him. Then he started dating Tiffany, rapper Charlie Baltimore, and Big had a wife and a mistress, and Kim still settled for being the other woman. It seemed pretty sad to settle for that. Charlie Baltimore, whom Evans mentioned...
Bro, I've been hearing this name a lot. Her name is Charlie Baltimore. Now, when I first heard this name, I thought she was from Baltimore. I thought she was from my city, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But she turns out she not from this... She from... I forgot where she from, but that's really her last name. Like, that's her biological last name, like Baltimore. That's crazy. But let's continue,
Her memoir
bro.
was another woman linked to Biggie at the time. The two met at one of Biggie's live shows in Philadelphia, which is Baltimore's hometown. Baltimore asked B.I.G. for a photo after the concert.
Oh, she from
The two
Philly.
started chatting, and mere days after the situation, they had their own thing going on. Lil' Kim was recording her debut album Hardcore during this period of time, and heard the rumors of Biggie having one more girl on the side. This led to an already difficult creative process being complicated by some heated love drama. I guess you could call it a love square now. As Lil' Kim recalled, "We had a big-ass fight. I had heard about him and some girl. We were talking about what happened, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm going at him. We're just going at it. And I hit Biggie so hard, I said, 'You have to stay because I might need you to help me with my lines.' And he was like, 'I'm not helping you. I'll hear it when it's done.'" She remembered. Lil' Kim felt like she was left behind with all the other women around B.I.G., and all Kim wanted was Biggie to treat her like a baby, be with her and said there were way more women in Biggie's life than the public knows about, and even Lil' Kim, who was Big's mistress for years, had to constantly deal with that. In one of the interviews, Kim recalled a situation where Biggie allegedly beat someone up and was taken to court, and she had to testify to help him stay out of trouble. The problem was that very day, Lil' Kim caught Biggie with another unnamed girl.
Biggie was going crazy, bro. I ain't lying, bro. That nigga was a different breed, bro. That nigga was
really mad as hell. I had caught Biggie effing a girl, like, in action, and I was sick, and I had just bailed him out of jail that day too. Unfortunately, the lack of support, Big's constant affairs with different women, and dramas were exactly the reasons Lil' Kim had to make some tough decisions throughout her time with him. During the same time gap before the release of Lil' Kim's debut project, she found out that she was pregnant. Kim for sure knew it was Big's kid. Lil' Kim told about it to her sister, her mother, her producer, and Biggie himself. Kim's mother and sister were very supportive and encouraged Lil' Kim to decide what to do next herself, while Kim's producer and Biggie weren't fans of the idea of Kim keeping that child as it was.
Damn.
In Big's own words, not good for the business, and that it was the wrong time for that. Lil' Kim's producer gave her some money, and she went to the hospital shortly after. Years later, Kim spoke on that situation. I already knew the kind of relationship that Biggie and I had, and I knew that having a child was something that couldn't take place. As Kim's close friend, Iyasera, said, I think to this day she wishes she would have had it, but she couldn't do it. It wasn't her time. In the end, Faith Evans couldn't handle all the roller coaster of emotions Biggie's lifestyle brought
this is crazy.
life, so she prioritized her. Allegedly, they were on and off several times, and even though they were still officially a married couple, Biggie still had an ongoing relationship with Lil' Kim and Charlie Baltimore at the time. Eventually, the two broke up for good, with Biggie saying, maybe Faith won't admit it, but I will. We should have got to know each other and then got married. The relationship kind of dissolved, but we're still going to be friends. Lil' Kim, on the other hand, was still with Big to his very last days, both romantically and business-wise. Kim recalled the last conversation she had with Biggie and their plans before his passing.
We were going through some things, and it was business related. It really wasn't personal. And, I wanted to do something, and he didn't want me to do it. And we were going through some things, and that weekend, we were going through this for a long time, and it was major. And that weekend, I don't know, he must have had a turn of events or a change of heart, and he was like, you know what, Ma? I decided whatever it is you want to do, I'm going to support you because I love you. He actually told me I'm a beautiful person inside and out. He told me that.
Lil' Kim also added that it was unusual for Biggie to express his true feelings like that, so perhaps he knew that something was wrong days before his passing. On March 8, 1997, Biggie was shot dead in a drive-by shooting incident. The rap world was shaken, especially given that another young, extremely talented, and influential rapper, Tupac, died not so long ago in a similar fashion. Both Lil' Kim and Faith Evans, who was still officially Biggie's wife at the moment of his death, were present at his funeral. The two were obviously not getting along for many, many years, dissing each other in their songs, refusing to collaborate on numerous occasions, and even ignoring each other whenever they met in real life. However, after a 2-decade-long feud, Lil' Kim and Faith Evans finally embraced each other. In 2016, Faith Evans invited Lil' Kim to participate in the creation of the album The King and I, dedicated to Biggie's legacy. Kim accepted the invitation and was featured on the track Lovin' You for Life with Faith Evans. Now, the two even go as far as calling themselves, quote, sisters. And for many fans who know their history, that makes perfect sense, as both were in love with the same man and had to deal with the same issues both during and after Biggie's life. They were sister wives without even knowing it. Lil' Kim had participated in different projects to help fans see what Big was really like in real life throughout all the years since his passing. Sadly, not all things that happened between the two were happy. Kim opened up about the dark side of her relationship with Biggie back in 2017. We did have a very violent relationship. I hate that. For a while, that was all I attracted, violent men. It is what it is. He was everything. You know how it is when you're in the industry. The guys can do whatever they want, but you can't do anything. You can't do nothing. There was even a story of Biggie pulling a gun on Kim when she couldn't finish the feature verse for one of Usher's tracks. According to one of the producers, Jermaine Dupri, Lil' Kim got to the studio in a bad mental state for rapping and couldn't get the job done.
At this particular point in time, this was the time when Big, I'm thinking he fucked Kim's sister. and she found out about it. So she
Yo,
was upset
this
when she
nigga
came
a
to this
menace.
video about this, and he couldn't really get her to do the rap. And me and Usher was just, we was there, young, watching what's going on, and Big pulled the strap out on her.
As Dupree said, Biggie did that to let Kim know he was going to kill her, thus motivating her to finish the recording process. Later, Lil' Kim confirmed the story, adding that the girl in question wasn't indeed her sister, but rather a close friend of hers. Biggie didn't believe Kim that the girl was her friend, and had an affair with her just to prove his point. There were actually other incidents of that nature between the two.
We started fighting and we tore the plaques off the wall and everything, and he choked me out in the elevator, so I passed out. And then look.
And you were still loving this man after
I
all of
don't
this.
know why. But
Although, after all those years, Lil' Kim recalls her time with Biggie with maturity and self-reflection. Listen, a lot of us are not proud about certain parts of our past and the way we might have handled situations. There have also been rumors for decades saying that Faith Evans and Biggie's love for her eventually marrying her was part of the reason for a lot of the skin bleaching and changing that Lil' Kim decided to do to her body. But despite
Damn,
all
she
the
bleached
bad
her skin?
things, quote unquote,
I didn't even
that
know
happened
that.
between Kim and Biggie, she still speaks of him as the person she loved most throughout her life. In Kim's words, the main thing that made her relationship with Biggie so difficult was his tendency to have multiple personalities. And each time Big turned into that other person, it was incredibly difficult for her to identify the man she loved so much. Regardless, Kim always knew that deep down Biggie was a loving person, and he had a special affinity towards her. He was a type who'd love you to death. I know he loved me to death.
That's it. Alright, but that's it, bro. If y'all enjoyed that reaction video, bro, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell. And yeah, bro, Biggie, he was definitely a player, bro. He had all the hoes. The nigga was ugly as shit, but he still had all the hoes. I don't even know how that's possible.